Hi everyone, I just want to give a quick lesson today, just kind of, I guess, on personal experience. Some of you may or may not know, probably don't, since this will be the first time I'm mentioning it on the channel. But I used to windsurf. I used to windsurf quite a lot. I was a teacher at one point in my early 20s, and I often compare my spiritual growth to my time windsurfing, because although I had a lot of fun along the way, to be honest, a lot of the early days in my windsurfing was really tough. It was grueling. I did it in the north of the Republic of Ireland, and the winter was bitter. I did it for 2 years. The conditions were harsh. They were all over the place, and there was a lot of perseverance, and I just had to be brutally forceful with myself on going out on the days where there was wind, because the wind was rare and I needed to obviously go windsurfing, but sometimes the other conditions, like it was just horribly cold, or just it was so choppy, and I was still a beginner, and it would just make things very difficult. I might not have had teachers with me at the time. I might have been out with one or two other people that knew what they were doing, but there was very little coaching going on. And although I did learn and I made progress, it took a lot longer than it needed to. And I was thinking earlier, because myself and Caroline are about to embark on a journey to Texas, where there is a very well established pastoral team, and there's an annual conference. We're going to spend a month or two there, depending on how the Lord kind of guides our way for it. But we're going to go over there with a lot of opportunity to draw the comparison to work under expert teachers, with the best equipment around, the best supervision, the best support, and really be able to utilize it. And my message or my lesson for you today is that if you're in a position where you're looking for spiritual growth and you see these brilliant teachers, maybe you just see it in the way they are and they connect. They may not always be around. You may not always be in that city, you may not always be in that town, and you may not always be in that space to be able to really take advantage of that time. Because much like my spiritual growth and much like my windsurfing, I spent time away in the Canaries where the windsurfing conditions were perfect. The equipment was top end, there was fantastic teachers, and I was able to do it day in and day out, and my growth in windsurfing skyrocketed, right? Skyrocketed, I said that a little funny. But the point I'm making there is that sometimes you have the opportunity for spiritual growth, and you really have to force yourself, you have to push yourself, you have to go and preach out on your own, to go lay hands on the sick on your own. You might not have an excellent partner that I do that can be encouraging, and you can go out there and do things together, have someone to even hold the camera for you. But you get to those points and you push yourself, and you grow and you grow and you grow, and it sometimes can feel like the hardest journey. But with the windsurfing, I got to that point where I passed over a threshold, and I was like, this is amazing. I couldn't get over how much enjoyment I had out of it, but it took that push and it took that perseverance. And then I came across an opportunity where I was in this position where I could do all this amazing growth windsurfing wise in the Canaries with all this amazing equipment. But because of the push that I'd done the previous 2 years, I was really able to excel and take hold of that opportunity and push in a way that I wouldn't have been able to before. So wherever you are on your path, whether you're a total new believer, a baby Christian, a beginner, you have no idea where to go, try and find a church or someone that can be your mentor if you can. That's brilliant, go for it. If not, find people online that you find a kinship to and you like their content, and just try and imitate it. Even if you have no idea what you're doing, just do your best to imitate, and through that imitation you will learn, you'll find your own feet, you'll find your own style, whether it's preaching, going into hospitals, being part of your community service within the church, whatever it is that you're doing, just push yourself to grow. And I guarantee you, God will put things in place that will allow you and enable you to grow in ways you never even thought was possible. But it starts with pushing yourself. Much like it started with our first day windsurfing, where I spend 99% of my time in the water and not on the board, sometimes getting caught under the sail, choking on the water a bit, being like, this is not as fun as I thought it would be. And then it gets to this point where you're sailing so confidently that it barely feels like effort. And that's where we want you to get you spiritually, that you can fend off attacks, you can fend off attacks on other people, you can heal people, you can preach the gospel, you can bring new souls to the Lord, you can spread God's love, and it doesn't even feel like effort. It doesn't feel like you're trying. It just becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a part of who you are. Much like my windsurfing was back then, I couldn't wait. Every time it was windy, the first thing, as soon as I felt a breeze on my cheek, I would just go, where's the water? Where's my board? And that's all that was in my mind. And that's the goal, is to get like that for Jesus. Get to that point where you hear someone cough and you go, okay, where am I needed? Where do I need to go? And you look around and you go out and preach, you go out and you heal, and you go and do the Lord's work. So that's the lesson. Go out there, be bold, be brave, be confident. The Lord will always support you. If you make mistakes along the way, don't worry about it. The Holy Spirit will correct you, and it's all going to be done with love. So just go out there, preach the gospel, heal the sick, cast out demons, and make disciples of all nations. Thank you, everyone. God bless.